In this video, I'm going to be discussing or teaching you or giving you some few reasons why most men cheat and how women fall victims of cheating partners. And this is based on my own opinion and research I have done and my own experience. Um, Feel free to add yours to the mix. However, it's good to always share notes. And if you get value from what we are going to be teaching today, please share this video, like it so that more people can it can reach more people, and also subscribe to the channel. My name is Sharon Uwaye, and I'm the founder of the Courtship School, where we help singles prepare for a heavenly marriage. I'm obsessed with seeing blissful marriages. So if this is the kind of vibe you like, I'm here for you. So without further ado, let's go right into the video. Now, I'm going to start with this introduction. Men can desire women who have attributes of what they desire in a life partner and marry them even if they are not fully in love with that person. We've seen it play in women's lives over and over again. But the thing that women do is, because men desire us for something, we think that that is love. Why women, though, even though they have an ideal partner in mind, they prefer to fall in love with the person and not the aspects they desire. What that means is, I may have an aspect of you that I like, but instead of me falling in love with that aspect of you, for example, somebody who is handsome, instead of me to fall, that's why a woman who likes handsome men will marry a man who is not handsome, because she fell in love with the person. Now, the handsome man may not be the place, ticking all those boxes for her, but the one who is not handsome may do it, right? So we prefer to fall in love with the person, their personality, than aspects of them that we like. However, this is not like 100% a fact, but it happens a lot of the time. Now, when I was young, I had this myth, while I was in secondary school. I heard this, let's not call it myth. I heard this saying among my classmates. There used to be this guy I liked, and he was one of the most brilliant boys in my class. Amongst, because I rolled with brilliant people, brilliant, the top of the, let's say the top people who are at the top of the class. Those were my close friends, right? So I used to like him and he liked me, right? And we got into a relationship in the secondary school level. And it was just pure, I like you, I like me, we see ourselves, we discuss academics. There was no mushy anything involved. However, when we spoke about our feelings, we decided that we would keep, any of these things we want to do till marriage. And that was our understanding. And we were okay with it. However, he started, listening to other people, and that's where I heard for the first time that there's somebody called girlfriend and there's other one called wife. Because it's common amongst, especially in where I grew up in Nigeria here, where a man is dating two people at the same time, but one he has reserved to be a wife, the other is girlfriend. So what does that mean? Wife will be treated differently, girlfriend will be treated differently. And this started from teens. So you can imagine when such people grow up and become married and they are older, that habit or that information or that knowledge that they already have does not automatically disappear from them. So they always have, there's wife and there's girlfriend. Now, men have this holistic view of what they want because society has enabled them, and they tend to take from different people what they want. What I'm trying to point out here is that for men, why most men cheat is because for a man now, he has an idea of what he wants, right? However, he's telling himself that I can get what I want. What I want is in different people. Why should I stick to one person to get what I want? That's why they can cheat without feeling bad and they are comfortable. Like they, when you hear it, because in their heart, they are like, and with the way they process these things, it's all about getting what I need, getting what I want. So when we take it from that angle, it's easier for them to cheat and not feel bad about it and not feel uncomfortable because it's all an issue of you don't have this part. This other person has this part. I will go to this person to get this part while I come to you to get this part. So it's coming from a place of what I want. And that's where selfishness comes in, right? Where you're willing to sacrifice. I want a girl that has big bum bum, but my wife has money. She's financially stable. She can take care of the kids and all of that. But I also have this fantasy of a lady who has big bum bum. So since my wife cannot give me big bum bum, I get it from another person outside. It's what I want. I did not say I stop loving my wife. It's just a game of this is what I want. That's why the Bible will say that men should not say that they are tempted of God because every man is tempted of his own lust. It's about, for them, is about what they want. Now, in marriage and commitment, they that for marriage and commitment, they marry the most stable. So a man can be going out with 5 different girls. He's looking for the most stable one. Who, when let's say he has his list, who is the person that gives me stability the most? He picks that one. Who is the one that is more acceptable? He picks that one. Who is the one that is most desirable? He picks that one. Who is the one that is most controllable? Who is the one that is most bendable? Who is the one that, so it's, they are doing scale of preference while they are dating 5 girls. A scale of preference. It boils down to the person who can meet the most of their need. So if he says, I want somebody who is stable, who is acceptable, who my parents will like, who is desirable, that in me physically, who I can control, who I can bend to my will, and they now look out of these 5 girls, which one is the most bendable? Who has all these qualities? Then they pick. We are talking about men that cheat, not all men. So please, let's not categorize all of them. So, for example, I'll give you an example of how when I wanted to get married, my husband liked a woman who did not depend on him for, who did not want, who would have her own money. He didn't want somebody, not that he didn't want me to depend on him financially, but he always liked women that had their own money. Probably the trauma coming from his side, but he didn't want to marry a woman who was not working. So he wanted a working class woman, somebody who was always working, who would work for her money, who can, he can say, oh, she has 1 million in her account, she has 3 million in her account. Now let me tell you, the day that 3 million is no longer reading in the account, it's a problem. So you want somebody who is financially stable while the person is still being pretty, while the person is from the same state, abide by laws. Well, I was the perfect option. I'm from the same state, abide by the laws of our state. We have some taboos and all of that. I'm aware of that. So I will not, and then I'm pretty, and then you can see it's just a pattern. And most men follow this pattern. Now, if that image he has in his head changes, that is the day marriage becomes sour. Because why will I, that is what he always wanted, a woman who fit into this criteria. And most times when men choose their wives, they have criteria. And most times it's to meet their need. So they look for something that is more stable for them as wife. Once they get that, then fantasy starts. When fantasy starts, oh, she cannot meet my fantasy. Is there somebody else that can meet this fantasy? We pick up, we go out. So it's not, they're not thinking in terms of, oh, I'm setting out to cheat. No, they're not looking at it like that. They are looking at it like this person is here to meet my need. I'll give you another example of somebody, for example, a well-read man, masters and all, but you married a woman who did not even, who finished in secondary school level, or let's say primary school level. When you are talking like an educated person in the midst of your friends, she cannot relate. When there are job opportunities for women, to in kind of jobs that you say, oh my, she cannot take those jobs because she does not have the certification to do it. The only thing she can do is take care of the home. Such a man will start having resentment, and when he starts having resentment, he goes out and he's going to the workplace. He's seeing ladies who went to the highest level of education. When they speak and when they do things and when opportunities come, they are able to take them. It's all about what he needs. So the thing is that you may just be putting in work. You may putting in work into your marriage to make it work. You may, but not knowing that you are unconsciously feeding his main need. So it's either you are feeding that need or you are not feeding the need. I hope you're getting it. That is why a man who has a very beautiful wife will cheat. It's all about what he needs. You see this woman, she has the big bum bum, she has the big boob, she has color, the color he wants, the color he likes. Yet, he will still go out and cheat. It's all about his need. And that is the way he's viewing it. There is no man, except for those who are chronic cheaters, who just consciously, most times it's about need. And is driven by that loss. And because they have that loss in their heart, they are unsatisfied with what they have. They're like, okay, I have 60% of this, but the remaining 40%, I need it. I want it. So they go outside to get it. But for women, we tend to love personality, even though we have standard. We feel that our love can move mountains. Now, love can move mountains, but sometimes in this way we think and the way we apply that love, because we just think that if I love in pieces, mountains will move. You need to understand the kind of love you are giving, because before, your love can now turn to controlling factor. Most women take their love and make it controlling, right? You say you love somebody, but at the end of the day, you actually you are controlling. We have our own unique abilities. We believe that even though a man is not there ideally, there's room for growth, there's room for potential, and then we also believe that we have the capacity to make it happen. We always think that we can change him. We think that there's room for growth and potential, and that is true. And however, we find out that that's not always the case. After marriage, that thought process, sometimes it does not work, because sometimes these men are not willing to impute things into themselves. You find a man who is abusive before marriage, you not think that there's growth and potential for him to marry. He was dating 5 of you, he now settled for you. You think that there's growth and potential. So we end up with husbands that look docile, but they are very uncooperative. He's quiet, but marry him first. You find out that he's very uncooperative. He starts having resentment in his heart, because our love is controlling. We are not loving the right way. We don't even understand what our love is supposed to achieve, not what it's not supposed to achieve. We end up using love as a controlling tool. And men don't want to be controlled. So because we now find ourselves in that situation, Oga goes out to where he will not be controlled but wants to be in control. Now, when a man sees what he likes, and he sees that that thing has the capacity to fuel his future, he commits to it, except he's being forced to do otherwise. So I've seen this lady. I've seen that in my life going forward. She's the kind of person I want to do life with. She's meeting a need for me. He will go for you. If you like, let your leg be broken. If you like, let one of your hands be broken. You are ugly, you are pretty, whatever. He will come for you. And this will show in the wooing process because you see him coming over and over and over again. Even at that point, if you have shortcomings, you will notice that those shortcomings are overlooked. So you'll be like, oh, she shouts too much, but he still loves me. She does, but he still likes me. I'm not a respectable person, but he still likes me. There is something else he has seen, and that thing is overlooking, overriding your shortcomings. And it's because of that thing that he has seen, he's coming for you. But sometimes we mistake it for love. Now, I'm not saying that in such situations that love is not in the mix. So I even think that the men themselves, to an extent, they don't even understand what they are doing at that point. At that point, they even think that they are in love, only for them to marry. And then that same thing he was overlooking when you guys were dating is the same thing he's hammering you on. You are not respectable. You are not this. You talk too much. Your voice is too loud. He saw it before, but he was looking at something else, a greater need that was stronger than that one he saw. So at the end of the day, he looked at it. She shouts, she does that. I can overlook these things. Let's just marry first. When we marry, I would dominate her. And then you now find out that you don't want to be dominated. And then he now sees that, okay, I don't have this aspect of, I need this thing, but I don't have it. I'll go and get it outside. Now, I don't want us to miss this thing because this is not the case for all men. Not all men have bad intentions. However, is this their thought process? I would say 100% of the time, yes. So you want to look for a man that is committed to growing himself. You want to look for a woman who is committed to growing herself, bettering herself, loving you the way you are, and committed to bettering you. So the fact that you have a bad character and this person is overlooking it does not mean that they will continue to overlook it for the rest of their lives. You have to make a conscious effort to better yourself, and they also have to make a conscious effort to help to bettering you, not controlling you, but bettering you, helping you to be a better version of yourself. That is where the growth comes in. So the man you meet in his early life, and that's why I say sometimes when they are young and they are coming for you, they are not even 100% aware. People in their 40s, men in their 40s, women in their 40s, I'm telling you, who are married for maybe 10 years and above, 100% know what they want. If they were to start again, ask a woman in her 40s, it's like, if you were to start all over again with the sense you have now, what will you go for? You will be shocked at what they're going to say. So the man you meet in his early life may not be as matured as the man you meet in his 40s. And there may not be a direct way to discern it. So how do I know if this man is going to cheat on me? How do I know? The truth is, you will not know. But you need to understand the thought pattern. Is this man committed to bettering me? Is he committed to bettering himself? Is he committed to ensuring that we grow together? Then you want to discern. And that's where the power of the Holy Spirit comes in. You helps you to dissect his thoughts and pattern process. You don't take emotional decisions. You are not taking decisions based on the way my body they sweet me. I feel butterflies. No, you don't take decisions on butterflies. That is a very wrong way to take a decision when you want to get married. So as much as possible, let your decision be fact-based, right? Have your ideal, what you want to do, and stick to it. Women who are in their 40s, like I said before, are able to make this kind of decisions because they've gone through a lot. So, but you cannot afford to be wasting. You cannot afford for somebody to come and waste your time. before you now have things. No, ask the Holy Spirit to help you. Have a process of revisiting your marriage foundation, and this is for people who are married, and sticking to helping one another to become better versions of themselves. And instead of looking for things in other people, I heard something about this. Joel Osteen said about his wife. He said he's content with his wife. That thing that you are looking for in another person, if you just stay a little bit, if you are loving, if you are patient, you will find it in your partner. There's nothing you are looking for outside. And if your partner does not have it, be content with what that your partner has. So try to be content, grow in your own field. In life, people metamorphose at different stages. You that was 20, it's not the you that will be 25. It's not the you that will be 30. It's not the you that will be 35. It's not the you that will be 40. As you keep growing, you keep getting better. You keep getting better. You keep getting better. So help your spouse to grow. That is the idea you want to have as a newly married couple, that we are here to committed to help each other grow, not to pull down one another, not for me to say, oh, you don't have this, so definitely I have to go outside and get it. Instead, how can we be content with one another? How can we help each other grow? And how can we better ourselves while we are doing that? And if you put this process in place, it will make your marriage work. So have this process in place from the foundation of building your marriage, that we are committed to growth, we are committed to development, we are committed to bettering each other. And it will help you build a better foundation to grow your marriage. So cheating will be out of it. Remember, the cheating, they are not seeing it as cheating. They are seeing it as, she doesn't have what I want, so I'm going out. She annoyed me, so I'm going out. This person looks more prettier, so I'm going out. She refused to wear earring. I like girls that wear earring. Instead, encourage your wife. Let her know. And when you want to make these changes about this person, don't make it look like it's like force. Explain to this person why this is. There are some women, they would want to do something, but they just need you to explain it to them, let them understand. Okay, why should I start wearing earring? Because this. You're able to convince them. Because you are unable to convince a woman, you just assume that she doesn't want to change. Or because you're able to convince your husband, you assume he doesn't want to change. Right? So I hope that we've been able to learn on a wider, bigger stage, to understand why men cheat, the foundation of these things. And if you have any other, anything to add to what I've said, I'm open to hearing your own, additions to what I've already put out here. I believe that this will change your mindset in understanding and knowing how to pray about it, and knowing how to walk around it, so that you don't end up with somebody who is going to be cheating on you. And then you are able to understand the signs of the kinds of things that will come, or when they come around you, so that it doesn't look like you were blind and you entered into it without knowing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Share and subscribe to this video. Share it to as much as many people that need this information. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.